So I've just grabbed my camera to give you this quick tip, because I'm putting the fans back on. I've actually got it all completely in bits again, so I can get fan cables and stuff sorted out, and it can be an absolute mission. That does look really messy, but I'm hoping that once it's all fitted and stuff, it'll all hide it, because I really haven't got time to start, you know, cutting all the cables down and making custom braids and stuff. Plus the fan cables are black as well, so you lose track on which one's which really quickly. But anyway, so cheater's way. So the way with the cables, if I show you around here, see, I'll bring it, there we go. You see in that top corner the fan cable folded over. It's there. Come on camera, catch up. You can just see it there, folded over. Well, it's folded over, and then it goes underneath the fan. Where's this one? That one's there. It goes underneath the fan, and then when I fit this fan, we put the cable on the far side, and basically they'll all come out of this edge, but all the cables will then be roughly the same length. So it's quite difficult when you end up with loads of different lengths. But if you do it this way, you can have them all roughly the same length, but also hide them in the radiator bit, and that doesn't really matter. And it is going to be up along the back panel, so you won't be able to see it. So we can clip the rest of these up, and it'll be alright. We'll do the same with the fans on the other side, and then I've got this 6-pin thing, and we'll clip that up here and then dangle it down the back, and it just means that you're just trying to, you know, fair enough, some people might not see the difference, but to me it just means I'm trying to be tidy where I can. So little things like this can end up adding up and, you know, making it look that much a little bit tidier. I'm not 100% happy with this, to be fair. I wanted to use a little plastic box and hide them, but I've just, with the way the front of the case is now going to be, with the 90 and the connector, I've just got no way I can get them there, and also half the cables won't even get up that far. So this is kind of like, yeah, but once it's in you won't see it, so I'm just going to have to try and forget about it. But this is kind of a better way. But anyway, I'm going to crack on with this. Like I said, it was just a quick grab my camera, and I'll chuck it into the video somewhere later on. Right then, so this is where I'm going to stop for the minute, because I'm just waiting for some stuff to dry out in the garage. So I've got all the fans in. Now, as I said, I've got the fans running underneath. So you can see the wire goes there, goes underneath. This one's there, goes underneath. This one is there, goes underneath, and that's just so that the cables just go there, because I'm using a 6-pin splitter. You can see the cables going up there. The other lot are all hidden. But we've got the new AX 860 in, as you can see. Red mirror, red mirror. Motherboard is obviously in, and look, red washers with Allen keys all the way around. Well, they're everywhere, don't really need to tell you any more about that. We've got the 90, well, this is the final lot for the radiator, and there is like no room between those two. They're right up against each other, tight as a what's it. As I said to you before about the cables, they're all kind of hidden, but that's all you can see there. I need to kind of zip tie them together so they look a bit tidier, but that'll do. But all of the fittings are on. Now, the black bits in the middle, what you need to remember is we're going to have the coolant's going to be black as well. So when the hose is on, we'll have the black bits in between that as well. The only bit that's going to look a bit funny is we've not got any barbs between the two, but I want to do it that way. I'm happy with doing it that way. Got a fixed adapter between that. Basically all the hose that we're going to have is a bit of hose from there over to there, a bit of hose from there out to the graphics card, and then the bottom graphics card will have a 90 degree, it will come out and around and go back down to the reservoir. you get from the res, it's going to go out to an angle behind this rad, up, and then in that 45, so you really won't see much hose at all. But she's really starting to come together now. Tomorrow I'm going to be putting the graphics cards in. Once the graphics card's in, hate to admit it, but it really is time for me to start seriously putting some hose in this thing. And then with hose, then you need to cable it up. And I need to start thinking about how I'm going to put all the lights and everything on as well. Because I need to start working out how I'm going to get power to the lights. And really, the power to the lights is going to be the only bit of the cabling that's going to be a complete arse. Because everything else now is pretty much straightforward. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build everything up so it's powered up, running, everything going, done and job. And then I'm going to put the external panels on. Because I'm going to have lights on the inside. I'm going to try and have lights around here as well, so it lights up the top of the case. Maybe down the front, but obviously need to work out how I'm going to light the SSDs on the other side as well. But yes, she's really starting to actually start to look like a PC now. But you can see there's a lot of black inside, and you can also start to see with the motherboard, the power supply, the SSDs, the little tiny bits of red that are starting to come out as well. But anyway, gonna sign off. Right then peeps, camera in my hand again, but anyway, so I was just about to fit the reservoir, and when I fit the res I need to put the 2 bits of hose on the back of it, on the back fittings, beforehand, because there's no way I'd get them on once the res is bolted down. And when I got the box of hose out that I'm going to be using, it's a 15 metre roll, which is quite mad considering I'm probably not even going to use a metre in this, because there's next to no hose in there at all. But anyway, the hose was yellow, so it was a dodgy batch. And I mean, when you put the hose end to end with an old bit that I had, the other bit you can see had another slight blue tinge to it. Just, you know, I mean, when you're looking straight at the end, like the edges of it. But the other one was like a nicotine stain yellow. It was horrible. So, long story short, it's Sunday today. I can't do anything about it today, so I'm going to have to get some more tomorrow. So I'm now really at a complete stop point, because until I get the reservoir in, I can't really do much of the other stuff. Reservoir, hose, then I need to, before I start putting cables and everything in, I need to leak check, make sure everything's alright. And then once I've leak checked, I'll put all the cables and everything in, cable tidy, do everything. Then I need to start thinking about lighting, and I'll put the lights in and then cable tidy all those cables. And then and only then will I put the outsides on, and it will actually start to look like a CM Storm Striker again. So yeah, I'm leaving the external bits right till the very last moment. So yeah, so I wasn't going to do like a video and upload it today, but I thought I'd just, you know, give you a look. But what I'll do now is I'll give you a look round so you can see everything again. Stuff I have done. I've got the pump finally on with the bits power like cover bit for it. I've braided the cable that come out the back. I've actually cut the RPM cable off as well, because I never use anything like that. Mainly because it's just, people will be like, oh, what happens if it turns off? If it turns off, then I'm buggered. But I'm not going to put an RPM cable in, because it would just make it look messy. So it's not happening. So that's in. People have noticed that we've got an AX860i in some of the pictures I've put up on Facebook. This was something that I'd kind of planned on all along because of the red logo. So we've got that in there finally. Rear fans in. Again, we're using the little red washers, although it's not focusing today. Anyway, you can see them there. We've got the GPUs in with the black back plates. They're all bolted in as well with red washers. So So all we've got to do is put the rest of the PCI brackets in the back. I have got some more red washers coming as well, because I've gone through 50 of them already apparently. One thing I might do is flick the rear fan round. I'll leave it like this for pictures because it obviously looks better like that. But for long term use I'll probably flip it round so I've got more positive pressure, because at the moment it's quite balanced. We've got the same amount in as out, although there's the in slightly restricted, but we want a positive pressure inside so it doesn't bring loads of dust in for all the little gaps and stuff. But we have the 3970X underneath that coolants block. Obviously I've used the multi-GPU fittings. I was a bit worried about those in between there, and as I've said before, I think the only thing that makes them look slightly different is the fact that they've not got barbs on the end. But I do like that white blackness in the middle, it works quite nicely. I also think that the nickel on the blocks works really well with the RAM now. So I'm really not fussed about that now anymore. So essentially what we're going to have, if you have a look around the back of the GPU, there's a 45 degree fit in there, but there's also a 90 degree just on the other side. Let me see if it can focus in on there. You can just see it there. There's a spacer and then a 90 degree fitting, and that hose is going to go straight up behind the radiator, up behind the rad, and then into this 45 at the top. So you really won't see much of that hose at all. And then what it does is it goes round the radiator, round that side, right the way around, and then it gets to here, comes into the front radiator. So the majority of the heat will get expelled out the roof straight away, come down into the second radiator, out and round, and then up to here. Come out of this, goes into the top of the motherboard, MOSFET, CPU, it will go round and do the chipsets and then come out. So MOSFET, CPU, chipset, out into the graphics card, whiz its way round, down, whiz its way round, and then it will come out of here. I'm going to put it on a 90 degree fitting, go out round the back, and then into the 45. So there's really not going to be a lot of hose there at all. The only bits of hose that you're going to be able to see is that bit and then that bit, but I'm going to try and conceal that as much as possible. I've got a Zonar D2X sound card I'm also planning on putting down here. I don't know if I'll be able to squeeze the hose in between the sound card and the GPU, but I'm kind of hoping so. People are also going to say about the cards do kind of lean a bit. Now you can use this multi-GPU fitting to kind of balance it out, but the more you push the top one up, the more you push the bottom one down, and vice versa. It's just the way that, you know, with graphics cards are. It's really not a problem. But that's pretty much it. The only thing I do need to do is try and get another one of these blanks to go in the top here, because I've not got one. I've run out. They was meant to have sent me 10 and only got 9. But that is it. I have to say it is starting to look a lot like a PC now, and really when you saw it like that you wouldn't know that was a CN Storm Striker, but as soon as we put the top and the front on, it'll just become all blatantly obvious again. But I do quite like that nice tidy floor area where we've not got any fan mounts or anything like that. That was my main reason for putting the false floor in. I obviously don't need it for my power supply because that's my way of putting the power supply. There is no right or wrong way, but that's the way I prefer it. And then if we go around the back, at the moment there's not really a lot back here, but obviously by the time I've put GPUs in and all that kind of stuff, this is the 8-pin CPU power, which I will probably try and clip over there eventually to make the lines a little bit nicer. This is the fans from the top radiator. That's what you can see from the fans from the front, and they'll obviously all get clipped down and tidied as much as possible. we've got this end I will change for black, but it's just on there as the white standard one for the minute. So extras that we need to put in the back. SATA cables. We need to get a Molex around there at some point as well. Molex, SATA. Oh, and we'll obviously have the GPU cables, but with the power supply they do 2 PCI Expresses where they have 2 connections on the end, so it goes into one and then you have like a daisy chain that goes off to the other one. I'm going to use those just to make it a little bit tidier, so I've not got extra cables in the back. But the idea really for me is to try and keep as much of the cabling away from this carbon panel as possible, and then obviously I'll be putting lights either up the front or down the bottom. I'm probably going to try for up the front, even if I have to drill holes in and then thread zip ties through or something. I'm not sure how I'm going to go about it yet, but that's that. Lighting, I am going to have some lights around the roof because I want to light these fans up. Even though you're not necessarily going to be able to see them spin or anything, I want the roof to have a bit of a glow to it. I also want to try, oh, that's something you get a really good view of there, is the C-strip from the cut that I did where I removed the front. You can see that all the way down there. But anyway, I do want to try and get some of the LEDs in the front so it will light the fans up, so that you'll see that, and then it will give it kind of a nice kind of like open mouth kind of feel, because I have purposely kept everything as tidy as I possibly can. I need to turn the rig round again. Oh yeah, I'm trying to do this all with one hand. You can never do this with a tripod. Oh, anyway, right. So I do need to put some zip ties hidden out the way to tidy these cables up. Once the hose and all in, I'll be able to work out how I can do it. But if you look down the side of the radiator, you can see the cables, but they're down the back of the radiator, so you can't see them with the naked eye. And then obviously I'll have some LEDs going all the way around and around the top to light up the inside of the case. Again, I still need to work out how I'm gonna, or where I'm gonna hide the PCB. I'm hoping there's enough room down here for me to cover the switch. I'll have it turned on permanently and shove it down the back, but worst case scenario I'll have it on the hidden round behind the back panel and just have the light starting round here and just go slightly further with them, but we'll see. Anyway, there's not really much I can talk to you about this now. I'm actually gutted I can't do any more because we've done so much in such a short space of time, which is what I said. As soon as you start putting hardware in, it just looks, so much changes, you know, so fast, that I really wanted to get the hose in today, and I was going to leak test it tonight. I was going to start putting coolant in it. So yeah, I'm just a bit gutted that the hose was yellow. But can't do anything about that now. I've shown you as much as I possibly can do. I'm going to take some pictures of this now and make sure I get it up on the forums. In fact, I'm going to put a link underneath. Go to the Overclock 3D forums. Because we'd like to see all of your build logs. That's one of the reasons why I spend so much time making videos and taking photos and stuff, is to try and inspire you guys to come and share your rigs with me, with us, with everyone, all the part of the OC3D family. Because that's it. It is a forums per se, you know what I mean, if you want to get all technical about it, but we think of ourselves as a little online community stroke family. So if you are interested in sharing your stuff with us, asking for advice, all that kind of stuff, you know where to come. I'll stick the link underneath. The link will take you to the build log for this though, if you just want to have a nose through. But anyway, I'm going to get off the camera now, take the video footage off, bugger off for a roast dinner, and then I'll render it and upload it later. For now at least, this is a very frustrated Tiny Tom Logan, because he really wanted to finish this today, with another video for you. Out. Ding!